And we are live, and it is a very special show. We are back. It is the Celebrate Your Success Sunday series with your grateful realtor and a brand new Celebrate Your Success crew. Some people have been here before, some people are here for the first time, and everybody is here to celebrate some special things. So I am actually going to kick it right over to Tiffany, and not Tiffany, but I'm going to kick it over to Tiffany. I'm going to start laughing. I'm going to kick it over to Tiffany for the third attempt of that. And I'm going to have a drink over here, which is just tea for my birthday, and simultaneously for a show of a lifetime. And she's going to have us laughing in our seats.
I was just going to say, so Erica's laughing already at herself for the silliness. And one of the things that I wanted to be able to start this incredible evening off with is a little bit of self-care for ourselves. How many of us are feeling tense, like, oh my gosh, Monday's coming in a few hours, and anyone else like stressing out? Need a little bit of self-care. So one of the things that is super duper easy to do is to laugh. So we are going to do some laughter yoga. And so I want to see everyone on screen. So make sure that your camera's on so that we can do this. And then awesome, Brittany, yay! And so then we can all laugh at each other. So what is the purpose of this? Laughter is really good for your entire body, even up to 45 minutes after you've done the laughter. So we're going to do 1 minute of crazy laughter, and then we're going to do another silly little thing just after that to keep the laughter going. So if you are interested in knowing more about some of the benefits of laughter, just try to notice them as we do this. And I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but let me tell you, this is the technique that I use with my kiddo, with my tween, to try to get us out of conflict with each other. So think about this as a technique to help you. And I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute. And I want you to take yourself off mute, get up close to the camera, make faces, and laugh the funniest laugh that you can laugh.
I thought she was going to drop F-bombs.
Say it again, Erica.
I thought she was dropping F-bombs. Like 3 different times I thought she was going to drop an F-bomb. She's like, laugh your off. I'm like, oh my God. Sitting there, I'm like, what?
All right. Here we go. All right, the funniest laugh you can come up with. I'm going to start with the haunted house wicked laugh. So join me. Shut up!
Oh my
And then do like the little kid laugh. Oh my gosh. Laughing at me, that's okay. Give you the endorphins. All right. Garth, give me your best laugh. Garth, give me your best laugh. Mimic the funniest laugh you have heard. Right, we did a minute. We kind of did it. So I'm going to challenge you. We are going to sing Erica Happy Birthday and think of the funniest add-ons you can come on to typical happy birthday. Like my little kid, she talks about pizza sauce in hers. So we are going to give our rendition of Happy Birthday, which will be incredibly silly over Zoom for Erica, because tomorrow is her birthday. So let's get out our silliness. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Cha, cha, cha. Happy birthday to you. Cha, cha, cha. Happy birthday, dear Erica.
One day early.
All right, get your celebrator with happy birthday to you. Cha, cha, cha. Yeah, pizza sauce.
Goodness gracious.
Does anyone else have a funny one that their kids do in school now?
Well, I thought, Tiffany, when you said, you were like coming on to Erica, I was like, are they all going to be hitting on me? Like, I was like, because I was dating on my birthday.
What a birthday. That's great. A little speed dating.
Speed dating, right. We got this one. Look, Jordan's already got some next to him. So let's see. We'll take you first, and then I'll take Jordan's girlfriend second, and then we'll go to Tiffany. No, I'm just kidding. The rabbi's like, this
That's another show.
is not kosher. This is another show. So
Do you know why restaurants don't sing the traditional happy birthday tune that we just sang?
why?
Because they would have to pay royalties. That's why they always have like weird made up songs.
Yeah, pizza sauce.
Yeah.
Speaking, yes, that is so true. And actually, speaking of which, I'm working on having music from I guess where you don't have to pay royalties involved. My web designer, my web developer is going to be getting music for us in the next few months, so that this way we can have part of this, so that we can go live with music on Facebook.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
Did anyone, awesome sauce, yeah, in this crazy, silly way to start the show. Did anyone get a little bit of a burst of energy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay!
I sure did, yeah. And
Awesome. So that's an easy thing that you can do just to take care of yourself every day. And then another super simple tip that Erica started out the show with the song about gratitude. And there are a lot of health benefits of gratitude. And I actually am going to be doing a masterclass here in 2 weeks that if anyone is interested in participating in it, let me know, message me, and I will send you the code to come for free for being here tonight and celebrating with Erica.
Amazing.
And I'm grateful for Erica because Erica has always come to the table ready to learn and wanting to learn and really working through things that are really hard. And she's still here. And we're celebrating another trip around the sun tomorrow.
It's so funny. She's like, trip around, so am I going to fall on the way there? No,
I hope not. All right, Erica, take it away, birthday girl.
I love it. Well, yes, I am here to work through things that are hard. And for those of you who don't know me and are meeting me either for the first time in the show, whether you're live, you're watching this on the replay, you're finding it on Facebook, you're finding it on YouTube, or you're finding it somewhere else that someone shared that I don't know, I want to say thank you for being here. And who am I? My name is Erica Rose Siegel. I'm your grateful realtor. And I'm apparently boring Fiona because she has left and she will be back. That's the cat. She's done for the night. If she comes back, somebody's got a dancer sing. I don't know what happened. But I'm also the co-host. I was the co-host and now the host of the show, Celebrate Your Success Sundays. And we had close to 30 episodes that rocked the house. Honestly, every single one of them added more value than the next. We talked about real estate, relationships, health, finances, earning money, saving money, creating a budget, and how to create a home sweet home. And if it wasn't for my dear friend Jasmine Yan, who believed in me enough to go and was crazy enough to go live for almost 30 episodes and then record them and share them with friends and tell people to do this, we would not be here tonight. And so Jasmine Yan, I'm super grateful for you because you're behind the scenes now doing something even more extraordinary. You're taking care of family, you're taking care of yourself. And I get you because my grandma just passed away. So like I totally get it. And our co-host is giving a gift to all of us at any time, day or night, or our honorary co-host, I should say, is giving us a gift day or night, whether you want to shop or create some sort of shopping experience in your home or your business. She's going to teach you how to save money or earn money. I know Jordan had a consultation with her. I think Madison, I'm pretty sure she's going to be on Madison Avenue with that shopping. And yeah, she's just fantastic. So she's going to be doing that behind the scenes because I am committed. I'm a realtor and I am committed to making sure that in my lifetime, and I am not 16, actually, I'll be 42 tomorrow. 42? Yeah, I'll be 42 tomorrow. Yay! This one's coming back. Fiona's coming back to remind me how old I am. But I'll be 42 tomorrow, and I know in my lifetime I will be selling a minimum of 1 million homes to eradicate domestic violence. That is a done deal. And I know that if without the help of each and every one of you here and your friends and your family, number one, I won't get sleep, but number two, I won't be able to get the impact of the lives I want to touch and create. So I am focusing, we're now taking a new vision to the show, where each week we're going to have conversations with real estate professionals. And that might look like a mortgage lender. It might look like a videographer or a marketer. It might look like a realtor. And how are we going to learn and grow together and make an impact like we've never made before? Because you may or may not know this, that this opportunity is going to give the gift of life. And if we're here and we're living, that's a blessing. Because folks, 1 out of every 4 women and 1 out of every 9 men have been impacted by domestic violence in the States alone. And that's pre-pandemic statistics. That's a very serious number. And it's not okay on my watch anymore to watch those numbers go up. So yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. And pre-pandemic statistics, Tiffany put that in the chat. So I know that gratitude helped save my life coming out of a domestic violence relationship. And when I say save my life, I mean literally save my life. And I don't want to get too serious. So we're gonna actually, even though it's a serious topic, I want to give us this opportunity to get blessed, to have fun, and to be grateful together. So before I kick it over to a realtor who's super grateful and also just a human, I'd like to get blessed because I also know that God and faith saved my life too. When I lost hope, I lost everything. So while you're not God, you're Rabbi. So I'm just like, I've never seen this before. I've never been blessed by a rabbi on the show. So I'm just going to give it to you, and I'm just going to hide my face while I cry. Is that okay? No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to say. Yeah.
Erica, you started your show on the best foundation called Simcha in Hebrew. Simcha means joy. Joy is laughter. Laughter and joy is the only way. It's the only thing that will get through anything. And I could see that this show will definitely continue on with this type of laughter. It's the right path to go about any type of trouble, any type of challenge, is to take it on with joy. Our Talmud tells us, Simcha poritz geder. Joy can break all boundaries, no matter what your limitations are. If you have joy in your life, you will see that you could leap beyond any limits that are placed in front of you. So on your birthday, as they say, the birthday is a new sheet of paper. It's a new start. No one should ever look back and say, I'm struggling from the past. I have a new opportunity, a new year to start. It's like Rosh Hashanah, like the Jewish New Year, where you start anew again. The sound of the shofar reminds us, you got to go. You got to be awake. You got to move forward. Don't stand in one place, but continue on, and you will see many blessings. I give you a blessing on your birthday and the blessing on the birthday of this show, that you should touch many people's lives and continue to increase them in joy and happiness, because those are the things that will take you forward in life. And God should bless you with the blessing of bringing happiness to your parents, to your ancestors. Bringing true joy to the world around you is by first being in yourself happy with who you are. And how do you know to be happy with who you are? Is to know that God created you in the best appropriate way for you to be the gift that he placed you here in the world for. He's given you the task and nobody else. Nobody could do Erica's job. only you. And you should continue to go from strength to strength, to doing your job and bringing joy and meaning and fulfillment to others around you. And know that only you can do it, nobody else. And I thank you for the opportunity to join. I really don't know the show. I don't know anybody on here except Jordan. Thank you. And God should bless you to continue to meet many good friends in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi. And thank you for being here and giving us this blessing. I look forward to rewatching that because I was listening and just being like, wow, joy, happy. That sounds like a good idea for my birthday. Give ourselves the gift of happiness. And that's not just so. Tony Robbins says he has this expression: "I'm a force for good and I'm a force for God." And so, oh, there's some music. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry. Jordan just sent me thank you or something, some message in regards and my
I love it. I was like, I love it. Jordan's a force for good, force for God. Jordan's like, you did a good job, Rabbi. And Jordan, you did a great job. I hope, and I'm just so blessed that you're here and you trusted Jordan, that Jordan trusted me, because I know that you have a huge family and each one of them is a blessing. I know that Jordan and Madison just bought a new place. Busy humans, and yet they're here tonight because they know that this mission is huge. They know that when I lost my joy and I lost my purpose, I lost my reason to be here on this planet. And that's not here anymore. My joy sometimes comes and goes because it's a hard job. My job of selling a minimum of 1 million homes in my lifetime, it's a hard job. But I know that I when I have people like the Rabbi and like Jordan and Garth and Tiffany and every single one of you, I can go through this room and the people watching live or on the replay, this is possible. And so Rabbi, I welcome you to keep coming and blessing us any Sundays that you can be here. And I also, I ask that you think about who else you might know, and it might take you a couple moments as you start to understand what's really happening. I'm so sorry, my cat's taking over. 1 second. She literally was going to take the computer down, so that's why I had to stop that. But I know you want to get blessed too. That was for both of us, Boo Boo. Okay, thank you. She's like, my turn. She's standing here. She's like, can you bless me, Rabbi? Don't worry, it was for us. I'll pay it back later. Thank you. But I would love to see whoever's here. I'd like to 10x this next week. Like that means 10 times the number of people. We can have up to 100 people in the room, because all the families around the world need to know what's happening here. And we're going to have a gift each week of a professional who is here to add value and to do a mitzvah or do a good deed and help people save lives, sell homes, and make impact. So I'm just, oh, look at that. Speaking of that, we have another mortgage lender stepping in the room. She's like, we're talking about real estate, saving lives. She's like, I'm in. Love it. So yeah, Rabbi, if you can start to think, and you can get back to me later. You have my phone number. Who else we should be inviting here? What other real estate professionals? What other, and this is for all of you on the call. What
this
other
is around the world?
Around the world, yeah. I want to sell a minimum of 1 million homes in my lifetime to eradicate domestic violence around the world. Yeah. So you could have families in here that maybe might be suffering. You can have, and I'm actually going to stop. I'm going to kick it over to Garth, who might have some ideas, because he's in real estate, but he's also doing something bigger. So Garth, I want to take a few moments to you, and then, yeah, Rabbi, we can, we're going to circle. We're going to give everybody each a couple of minutes to connect, and then, and celebrate, because that's why we're here. Bring some joy. And yes, if you have ideas, you can pop them in the chat. You can text me. We're here and we love you. And just stay on as we continue to bless this evening. And Fiona is fully engaged at this point because you brought joy. And thank you. Garth, what are your thoughts in this moment?
Well, geez, thanks for inviting me for one. Rabbi, thanks for the blessing. It was beautiful. It's great to see so many new faces. I don't know any of you, but I am right now currently in Barbados, a realtor in Barbados and New Jersey, and I am about 110 miles from the island of St. Vincent, and we have not seen sunlight for 2 days because of the ash that's in the sky. And it definitely does give you a perspective on life. Sometimes things happen to us and it's not our fault. It's not our own doing, but we have to deal with it, right? So Erica reached out to me this morning, and I was in the middle of actually doing my gratitude when she called, and we chatted for a while, and she asked if I could participate tonight. So here I am. And I'm also, the reason I'm in Barbados and not in New Jersey at the moment is because I'm taking care of my elderly parents. My mother has dementia, and my dad is not physically fit no longer, and the two of them require care 7 days a week. So I gave up my real estate life in New Jersey to be here with them, and I've been here now just over a year and a half. And of course, then we had COVID, and COVID brought a whole nother set of circumstances. But I'm truly grateful, and what I am grateful for is that there are people in the world like Erica who wants to make a change. You know, I recently last week had a thought, and I came up with several reasons why I should wait or I should hold off, and I started a gratitude a room on Clubhouse for those of you who are on the iOS platform, and I probably touched about 400 or 500 people last week across the world, which was like, it just blew me away, and so I've come to realize that gratitude for me is a way of life. It's a way of being. It's a way of thinking. I literally spent probably most of last night in my dreams. I dreamt about the word miracle and what it means to be a miracle. And I think that we all are miracles, and miracles happen to us every single day. And sometimes we just need to stop and look and look for the miracle, because there are constantly miracles happening all the time. This life, this world, nature provides us with awesome miracles and beauty and amazing things. And one of the things I said to Erica was I would not be able to take care of my parents if I wasn't practicing gratitude. It's hard to be angry when you're grateful. It's hard to be upset when you're grateful. It's hard to be anything but loving when you're grateful. It's just like when you practice gratitude, it's just like your whole perspective changes. I mean, some people around me think I'm too positive, or I'm super positive. But I'm here to do my part as a son, do for my parents what they did for me. And there comes a point when you're no longer the child, you are the caregiver, and I have to make decisions. And it's difficult because mom and dad were the authority for a long time. And so I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful to have an opportunity to share with you all. And the other thing I said to Erica was that, being a caregiver can be a lonely road. And it's really important to have a network to plug into. I'm blessed. I have a worldwide network. I'm also a senior leader for Anthony Robbins. I get to attend all the events. I'm also a life coach as well as a realtor. And I have friends all around the world, and I plug in daily. But the gratitude is the one thing that has helped me to get over the hump and to stay focused and be in gratitude to my parents for the life that they give me, and for the love that I receive from them. And that's, I think, it for now. And I'm done speaking.
Well, thank you for speaking and for sharing that. And when I realized, a while back when I heard Garth is in Barbados caring for his family, in my mind, like, oh, Garth really doesn't work that much. Like, he's just, like, honestly, like, this was my mind. Like, he's just taking care of some parents in this beautiful island, like, no big deal. And then I realized, as I lost my grandmother in the past week, and then I discovered from my brother in 75 minutes, one phone call, just a fraction of what my brother had to do to prepare for one family member's death. And they didn't have what Garth's family, like a bigger and options, and over here in a different country, and optics and health, and it was not like that. So I think to myself, if having someone like Garth and having his expertise being a part of this movement can show how it's very easily during a stressful situation to lose your patience, to lose your mind, to lose your consciousness and say words or do things that are not servant. And then you have to go and ask for forgiveness and ask God for forgiveness and pray, please don't do this again. And Garth has some ideas, and we can have him on a specific show to talk about how to prepare for this option. So I'm just thankful you're here, Garth. And even, I'm sure there's, and so we can schedule you for a specific show to talk about that. And so I want to kind of go around the room and see, I love it, around the room, and see who else has an idea for like what type of shows we can feature that are vital, that are necessary, who needs to be speaking, who needs to be saying something that would make an impact in the arena of domestic violence. Someone else is coming. Oh my goodness, my brother's best friend, so loving. Oh, cool. So actually, I if it's okay, I'm gonna kick it over to Brittany for a moment, because I feel like this might have hit home for you, and you maybe knew someone, and as being in the mortgage industry, what are your thoughts? Who do you know?
I think, you know, I really connected with you when you reached out to me. And I feel like, you know, when I told you that we had met briefly in the past in passing in an office when I was getting into sales and everything like that, I think that there was a reason for that, because, you know, I had not long before that been a victim myself. So when you told me what you were going through and how you came out of it, and now you're trying to help people and everything, like it really hit home. Love it. Love everything about it. I'm happy to be a part of it. You know, anything I can do to help and support your cause, I'm here for it. But I think, you know, a lot of people in that situation don't have the means to escape and are so down and out in their mind that they don't think they can. So it's important to have people around you that can kind of tell you, I went through this, I'm here for you. Like, look at where we are now. We can get you through this. You just need the you know, the right group and the right support and everything like that. So I love that you're doing this. I think it's a great cause, and it's more common than people realize. So it's tremendous. So I would love to be a part of it and contribute in any way possible on my end. But yeah, so I do mortgages for a living. I'm happy to be involved with this group in any way I can help, and bring people in and bring other realtors that I work with so that they can help contribute for your cause. Because like I said, I mean, not a lot of people are able to get through it. And that's what we want to help. You know, that's what we want to contribute towards. So I love everything about what you're doing. And I definitely respect you for taking this step forward and starting this whole thing.
Well, and thank you for being here. And I guess however many years ago, honestly, one of the negative impacts of, I was about to say gratitude, and that's not the right word, laughter, negative impacts, extenuating impacts of domestic violence is you might lose your memory. And honestly, when she said she met me, I was like, really? And then instead of making myself wrong, I was like, oh, really? Like I feel like
there was definitely a reason why we crossed paths back then.
Yeah.
You know, that led us to this point for sure.
Yeah. And I just am so thankful that you're here. And yes, having real estate agents and brokers and mortgage lenders, we have another mortgage lender on here, and some are more comfortable speaking like publicly, and I'm not even sure she's going to get herself off mute. But when I was going through what I went through, and like the act of just zero judgment. Yeah. Zero. And it was such a gift. I was like, am I going to lose my house? Like I had so many questions. Like, I didn't pay my mortgage this month. Am I going to lose my house? Even though I knew the answer.
Yeah.
I forgot the answer because of the panic. There was like, oh wait, are they going to come on my door and take it away from me? Like I couldn't even think like so straight. And when you're trying to run a household, run a business, whatever you need to do, and you can't think like, is someone going to come to the door and take your house? And then filing for bankruptcy, and then having to do stuff with taxes and IRS, and had to call Olga multiple times and say, hi, this is what I need. And she's like, okay. And she would just answer to the best of her ability based on her mortgage hat, but also like the loving mother hat. And I say this because there's 1 billion people on this planet, and there's no shortage of buyers, sellers, renters, or investors anywhere in the world. So I am not worried that there's 2 lenders. Let there be 200 lenders, because there's also 200 billion people. They need homes. Let there be 7 rabbis and 800 realtors. I'm not worried. Let me get a bigger Zoom account if all of a sudden this is so full and we're like, oh my gosh, we don't have enough room for all the people. Because I'll be selling more houses, making more difference. And just as a side note, I'm going to be donating 10% of my gross commission check to any referrals anywhere in the world, buying, selling, renting, or investing, whenever you choose me as your realtor. And then I can align you with a proper realtor anywhere in the world. And 10% of the gross commission will be donated to charity, 5% towards a charity related to domestic violence, the other 5% your charity of choice. So if you say, Erica, I really want you to donate to my synagogue, or I really want you to donate to Alzheimer's or dementia or as long as it's something that's recognized Better Business Bureau, like I need to look at it and understand. I'm not just going to have you, donate it to like cigarettes or like, crack or whatever. That doesn't work for me. I need to like look and know what it is. And I just need to put that out there because I don't want any confusion being like, hey, but you told me $6,000 can go whatever. I want to buy my Louis Vuitton. No. So, sorry. So, but thank you, Brittany. And I would love it next week. We'll figure out who's going to be speaking because next week is a show and we need a guest speaker. We want a realtor who's going to speak, and it might be, or I should say someone in the real estate world. And it might be, I know Rebecca is going to be speaking on one of the shows, I think in 2 weeks, and we'll get to you next. But perhaps maybe Brittany next week, given your experience,
I'd
you
love
can
to,
talk, about like your experience and mortgages. And Olga, it's okay if I'm going to have Olga write to me in the chat if she wants to say hello. I know some people are more comfortable, and then there's like a lot of work behind the scenes. So I did speak about Olga, so I just want to check in. If Olga's comfortable unmuting, I'll have her unmute. If not, this is Olga. She's from, I forgot already where she's from. She's a mortgage.
Oh, we're from the same company.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I already forgot. I've known her for years. She's oh, so you know who she is. Outstanding. They're like sisters from another mister. There we go. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Outstanding. And some people are more comfortable saying than others, but yeah, Brittany, have you next week. We'll connect. We'll figure it out. We'll connect during the week so we can prepare you for next week because
definitely. I'd love to.
Outstanding. We love it. And bring some realtors. Now I want to go over to, hold on, we got, I want to go to Jordan, actually. You're here. What was like, you know what? There's so many things you could be doing on a Sunday night. Madison, I'm sure, has other things to do too. She told me, she's like, I'm not really ready for this video. Yet she's stunning. So just as a side note. But what brought you to here and said yes and inviting the rabbi? What was like, yeah, I need to be here and need to be involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Jordan. I'm in Tampa. I have a podcast. I do some consulting. I have different groups. And honestly, me and Erica have known each other for 6-ish months. And we reconnected kind of recently on one of my clubhouse rooms where I have it 7:30 to 8 a.m. where we read a book and we kind of talk about it, some personal development. And Erica just came hot and heavy, just willing to help, willing to promote it, willing to do whatever. And it was such the reciprocity had to come. Like, I was just like, she's bringing such great energy. And then we hopped on the phone and we started diagnosing like what she was trying to get out of this show. And I'm like, this has to be something to be a part of. It's something that, first of all, no one talks about. And then second of all, it's something that just, you have to shine the light on it. Like, there's many issues in this world and people want to hide under covers and not talk about them. And I think it's very powerful and very impressive that you're confronting it head on. And that's why when I knew the rabbi was someone who would be beneficial to you, he was interested. It just made sense.
Yeah. I was so thirsty. I was going to drink the water bottle like this. I was like, I'm thirsty. It's not Windex because we don't have them in my house. I wouldn't have died. I just would have tasted gross, I think. It did make sense. And I did come in, like, what is so special about Jordan is that he's clocked in. And that just happens to also be the name of his podcast and the name of his.
So I have the podcast, and this was the craziest part is I was thinking back in April, I finished this challenge, and it was something that all you guys were talking about regarding gratitude and really understanding yourself and becoming an independent person instead of dependent. And I completed this thing called 75 Hard, and that was a year ago. And I was looking at how far I've come in that time, from meeting Madison, moving in with her, buying this place, traveling, to starting the Clocked In podcast, which is where we interview different successful people to hear their stories on how they've accomplished what they have. And then the audience is able to sit there, take it all in. We've had people like the founder of Reebok, people like Bradley, people like Ron Jaworski. So it's really exciting. I got to meet all these different interesting people. We're going to have Erica on at some point. We got to get that on the schedule. But yeah, no, it's awesome meeting new people, especially during this tough time. And I think one of the best parts about this show is that amidst COVID, amidst everyone all over the US, you hear people in Barbados, New Jersey, all over the place. I'm in Florida, Rabbi's in Florida. I know Denver, Colorado as well. Like, it's just cool that we can all come together on a Sunday night and just sit here and decompress and hear about our wins. It's an exciting place.
It is a very exciting place, and I sit here with so much gratitude to have you here. And Jordan also just got me presents who I need to make sure when I first found out that he bought a place in Tampa, and I was like, "You bought a place in Tampa?" And I'm like, "Wait, did you know I could help in Tampa?" And
I
he's
didn't
like,
know. I
"You
didn't
didn't
know.
know, right? Like, that's my fault, right? Like, I'm out here. We did like 30 shows, 9 months of like adding in so much value. If you go on Tiffany can probably find the link somewhere because she's amazing. If you find our Bitly, you'll be able to see the 30 shows or 27 shows we've done that are on YouTube, and they've been syndicated to Facebook, uploaded to YouTube, and periodically I talk and tell people I can help anywhere in the world, but you could say it like people hear like 4% of what you say. I don't know if that's the actual statistic. And since I talk a lot, people probably hear about 0.000000001% of what I hear. So when he said he just bought a place, you could come from scarcity and be like, damn, what the hell? But I was like, that's amazing. How can I help you in your home? I was like, how can I help you in a new home? I got him in touch with Jasmine to see how, like, while you're furnishing the home, they were in the store, IKEA. I'm like, let's go save you on some expenses, because money is the number one reason why people are fighting with their employer or with their significant other, their family, or their friends. It's money. And the fight becomes big enough, and it could be like that. I know it's a hard visual to go see, but it could be like this, it could be like this, or it could be words that cannot be undone. There's sometimes you can't unsee or unhear certain things people say. Right, Boo-Boo? I know. That's why we don't talk bad to you. Mm-hmm. She knows. So, Jordan, thank you for being here. Madison, is there anything you want to say quick? Just, I don't know if there's something that comes to your heart or your mind, and it's okay if you have nothing to say. I'm just kind of asking you on the spot. And I love that my brother's best friend, who I've known like since I'm like 7 maybe, is on the show and has so much to do with this as well. And I'm just holding back the tears because I'm just going to go back to Madison quick, and then we're going to keep moving along.
I'll make it short and sweet. I was just brought on by Jordan. I'm super grateful to be a part of this. I think it's an important topic, especially domestic violence. A lot of people go through it. It's a hard time. It's easier said than done. I know a lot of people who's been through it, and I think what you guys are doing is a really good cause, and I'm appreciative that you guys invited me to be a part of it.
Well, we definitely appreciate you being here. And if there's people that have been involved in some sort of domestic violence, which could be physical, emotional, financial, spiritual, I'm sure there's other dynamics that I can't even think about at the moment, we'd love for you to be in whatever role you can. We have a Facebook and we have an Instagram called Sellerbrate Your Success. That's SELLERBRATYOURSUCCESS. You're welcome to hashtag it. You're welcome to Instagram it. That's not even a thing. You're welcome to do whatever people do with social media because it is about us. And if there's greatness happening in your home or your business, and we're focusing on wins instead of on sorrow or sadness, we're more likely to experience joy, gratitude, create more abundance. And we probably won't lose our mind and feel the need to go smack someone around. And I say that because that's like really what happens when you get enough frustration. A word pops out or your hand pops out and you're like, dang. And you regret it later, but you can't always take it back. So Madison, thank you. Your energy is infectious. We're so grateful to have you here. And it takes a village to do something like this. So wherever you see, if there's quotes, if there's ideas, if you see this on my Facebook, please share it. Let people know you're here. Invite them, bring them back next week. We've got realtors, we've got contractors, we've got attorneys, whoever you think would make a difference anywhere in the world, bring them and let's have them speak, share, and show that we care. And that I just made up, and I'm not a poet. So thank you. So let's see. I know we have, I know I'm feeling like the answer might be no with Olga, but I could be wrong. Olga, I don't know. Well, I'm going to let Olga write to me if she wants to say something. I want to kick it over to Ronnie for a second. And I've also got Thurman. So Thurman, are you also in a position where you're able to say hello? And if you are, then I'll connect you, or are you working? Because I know he's in the middle of something. You can, hold on one second, Ronnie, I'm sorry. What he say?
I think he's working.
He might be working. You're working.
Yeah, I'm actually working right now.
Okay, was there anything you want to say really quick? Because I know you know why I'm here, and you've been such an impact and an influence in me. He's a client of mine, and I had a toxic work environment, and I had a toxic relationship, and he showed up because that's what, I guess, when you're really blessed to have great clients, that's what they do. And no questions asked, just did it. And he helped me make a move. And I'm just, thank you.
Oh, I got distracted there. I really wasn't prepared to say anything tonight. I just wanted to listen and observe and just take everything in. And I'm a little distracted right now because I'm studio engineering an Islanders versus Rangers hockey game.
Love it.
And
the fact that you were here.
In case you care, it's tied 2-2 in the second intermission. It's at Nassau Coliseum. Anyway, I appreciate those words, Erica. And we go back more than 10 years at this point. I was in a different place in my life when I met you. I'm not in that situation anymore. Things haven't been as perfect as I would like them to have been, but we're getting there day by day, and we both are. And it was weird that day when I helped you out with that situation, and I didn't think twice about it. When you called me, I was there, and I don't regret that. But like I said, I really didn't have anything prepared. I'm just listening and watching and taking everything in, and I love what I'm hearing right now from everybody.
Well, what you said was absolutely perfect, and so that you're not going to get in trouble, and that whatever else happens, you're still on the job, right? But the most important thing you said to me in that moment, and I think for each of us to hear, was that I called. He didn't think anything of it, and he just came to help. And when someone is in a 911 situation, physical, emotional, financial, spiritual, and they say help, and sometimes we'll be like, what, you can't do that yourself? No, I can't actually. In this moment, I need you to do this thing. And sometimes when we are so used to people being strong, because I'm a strong person, that if I say, hey, can you come and cook, clean, food shop, do the laundry, people are like, what do you mean? You know how to do all that? When your oxygen mask is off, and for lack of a better way to describe it, because we all hate those masks, right? But when it's off and you say, come help, and that person says, come help, you have to be able to recognize, and that's actually probably something I'm going to be working on. I don't know who might want to, and it might be, there might be a few people, it might be between Tiffany recognizing how to recognize when the oxygen mask is off on a person, and that there might be 5 things to notice. And maybe it's not just Tiffany, it might be a few other people to add in that checklist, so we can become first responders to a very difficult situation. So if somebody calls and you're like, they just don't feel like cleaning their house. They need an admin and they don't feel like paying for one. They need to just go for a walk right now and they just don't have any plans on a Saturday night. I'm all set. No, that person there might be some things that could be signs that's like, hey, they've done that 3-4 times in a row. Let me check in, because I tell you, I made a phone call on my dad's birthday that saved my life. And if the person didn't pick up, I wouldn't have been here, because I was that far gone. And my father doesn't know that. And if he ever finds this, Daddy, I love you and I'm fine. But that is a true story. And Thurman, thank you for being here. We're just going to keep it. This is beautiful. And we look forward to folks continuing to add and greeting, and whoever you think in being here, because this was just kind of like a free for all, like people are just sharing and caring. And then we're going to have a specific topic each week, just so you know. It might be it sounds like Brittany's going to be doing her thing next week. And then Rebecca, who's going to give us the final wrap up, is going to be doing her thing, I think, in 2 weeks, and she'll tell us her date. And then you guys can just keep picking dates and let us know. So I know we have Tiffany, we have Ronnie, And then we also have one other beautiful human. I didn't ask if she's prepared to share, and she totally can if she wants to. So I'm going to, first of all, let's do actually Tiffany first, because I know she was here since the beginning, and then we'll go to Ronnie, if that's okay. And Ronnie, I'm still in shock to see your face. So Tiffany, go for it. What are you taking away being here, and what are your thoughts?
Well, thank you for inviting me. I actually met Erica on this past Friday. I'm a new real estate agent, and I met her in the office, and she told me about the cause, and I'm here to support the cause. I have, over the last 7 years, I have law enforcement experience. So I'm very familiar with domestic violence, and I've dealt with a lot of clientele who has had experiences with domestic violence. And, the courage to stand up, it's very difficult, and not only that, a lot of it stems from childhood as well, too. A lot of abuse, that from my experience dealing with a lot of clientele, was that they always expressed to me that, it just didn't start with their boyfriend or their husband. It started when they were younger, as like a child. They remember, their fathers or their brothers or their mothers even putting their hands on them. So, when she told me about the cause, I was like, wow, I have to support, because it's just, we all need to come together and, spread the word, because I remember somebody saying earlier that a lot of people don't discuss domestic violence. It's like a taboo topic, they don't discuss it. It's something that they keep to themselves. And it could also be repetitive as well, too. They not only have one significant other that has, is the abuser, it's multiple abusers.
Yep.
So I'm just here for the cause. I'm here to support, and just want to say thank you.
And thank you for being here. Literally walked in on a Friday to go get her pictures done, brand new with our company, Keller Williams Greater Nassau. I don't even know if I said that, so that's where I work, but that's where Tiffany works. And when she walked in and then told me she's with law enforcement, I had, during the pandemic, helped not a realtor. I helped a police officer, two of them who were together in a house, sell it. And when I spoke to them independently, because they were going through breakup, and I was really vulnerable and authentic. Most people don't do that. They don't say like, oh, I remember the time when I broke up with my boyfriend, let me tell you about it. So when I could hear that she was in pain, I started to empathize with her, and I developed significant rapport. And within 15 minutes, she was crying her eyes out. And then she ended up getting help. He got help, and they both had guns. And like, that could have been a very scary situation, because it turns out she ended up admitting me that he was abusive. She told me because I opened up. And then he told me that he got therapy. She did essential oil. She got her own therapy. We connected. And it was like, you never know. And I won't say the house. I'm not here to disclose. Like, that's not what I do. I'm giving the example of like these police officers who are out and about serving the world. There is a very high rate of, number one, them having the domestic violence in their own dynamics of household and work. Number two, they are first responders. And sometimes, because there's so much other crime and they don't have proof, I had a police officer call me and say, are you okay? Because he saw and witnessed stuff at Penn Station in New York City. And I lied and said yes, because my abuser was standing right in front of me 3 times. And he didn't know enough to say, maybe I should call back tomorrow. Because like, you don't know if the person's standing with you. So it's like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. And then later on, when someone asked why I lied, I said, I can't tell the truth. He was standing right there. What was I going to say? So it's just such a blessing to have someone who's in law enforcement, to have that connection. And I'm a former classroom teacher, and I feel like there's a lot of people who are here to educate, here to help today. So thank you for that. And I want to now go over to, speaking to history, family history. Ronnie, I didn't know this until, I don't know, less than a week ago. And my brother's friend, for how long have you known my brother? Oh, wait, hold on. You're on mute. I'm like going to cry. I can't believe this.
About 30 years.
30 years. Yeah. And by the way, we won't say brother's name because my brother's
Okay.
not. Yeah. Okay. Even though people might know, but we'll just leave it like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but you've known him 30 years and you had
Right.
said something to me because you were very calm.
Uh-huh.
I've always known him as calm. So when I was like, where did this come from? This calmness. He didn't come from no calmness. I mean, there's a book about your family, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
We might know. What's the
Right.
name of the book?
The Westies. I grew up in Hell's Kitchen during the born in 65 through 70s and 80s. So I've seen all the violence against other people, against family members, against myself. And I kept saying to myself growing up, I don't want to be like that. I do everything the opposite what those purposes have done and stuff. So that kept me out of trouble, kept me learn how to stay calm. And I just keep saying, okay, it'll get better tomorrow. You know, anything that's bad. Just want to do those bad things.
And he's been through some stuff. And he's so calm. And I didn't know until this past week about that. So now to have someone that had your family history is in a book talking about, I guess, violence in your family.
Violence, murders, drugs, thievery, theft, you name it. It's happened in that neighborhood, 70s on. No?
And yet, I'm sorry, continue.
And my playground used to be empty factories, running through empty fired bomb buildings. That was my playground. And I have to go to school, walk down the flight of stairs and see a junkie on the flight of stairs with a needle still in his arm who was just overdosed. Things like that.
And imagine, guys, having someone like this who, he has kids. He was putting his kids to sleep, so he wasn't able to hop on until this time. But imagine just having someone in our circle that went through this. Because in New York City right now, on the way home, if you get on the train, from what I understand, during rush hour on the way home, and this might be in other places, there are junkies. It is not safe to get on the train on the way home. And that's 5:30 at night where I used to take the train home from Queens, New York. And that is scary because I'm like, whoa, people, and I'm sure there's other neighborhoods and we'll come back, but we need help. We need love. So thank you for sharing. And we'd love to have you maybe speak at some point. What did you do? Not today, but like maybe you'll have an episode. Like, what did you do as a human to not become one of those? And maybe you can share your story on a Sunday night. And maybe, and if we need to switch the time, so, we'll figure something out, or have you go a little later, because I'd love to hear more, because that's shocking that you could live through all that. Would you be open to that?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing. And then I also know, so hold on, I know we're going to end with Rebecca, and I'm just like, I'm tearing up. Lindley, did you want to say something? I know you're here. I know we just kind of met in this group, but I also know you have some relatedness to this. And is there anything that you see for yourself? And anyone you want to invite, like, what would you like to share, and who do you think should be here? Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Great question. For the past really since 7 years ago, I've been obsessed with healing all childhood trauma. And so that actually some of my childhood trauma has led me to be in some toxic relationships myself, and also exhibit, dysfunctional behavior myself. So that could be very enlightening for people, is some of the awareness of what is toxic and, red flags, but then also resources to heal themselves, because really the best way to avoid it is, knowledge and then that emotional intelligence, loving yourself, and then also understanding and being able to see the signs in other people.
Well, and by the way, I wasn't smiling at you. I was smiling at Tiffany's cat that was making out with her, that's taking over for Fiona. That cat was up on her face. It was so cute. But, you brought up something, those resources and where to go. And Lindley, It's interesting because tonight I was talking to my web developer who 6-7 years ago, I created an entire domain, a following, a blog, a whole thing called Simple and Joyful, trademarked it and everything. I did professional photo shoot. I had people following me, how to make a move simple and joyful as possible. My dad, everybody was sharing it. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Thurman, you probably remember this. It was like, I don't know, 6-7 years. And I was like, I'm not simple. There's nothing about this chick that's simple or joyful. So I literally went into there's this phrase, sabotager. Like I couldn't imagine myself as leading the pack for the Simple and Joyful Club. The chief joy maker, that was my title, right? Like I made this up. There was a whole movement. So I said, shut it down. And he's like, everybody's following you. This is going to be a launch for your career that's like no other. I'm like, shut it down. I can't have it. And I literally was like, my identity was like, that's not me. I can't be the calm person that leads the pack. So I shut it down. And he knows who I am. He always calls me the chief joy maker. And we spoke tonight and he said, Erica, he does websites and we want to put resources together. We want to put everything together so that people can, Jordan's got a podcast, Be Clocked In. He's got a 7:30 a.m. Clubhouse Monday through Friday on reading books. And, and Thurman's got, everybody's got resources, right? Like, and so if we put them and there are resources that we can own, and I'm sure Tiffany's got stuff and Lindley's got stuff, like everybody's got stuff. So if we put them together, I am actually going to possibly, and somebody might have an idea for this. Maybe it's a GoFundMe. I'm not even sure. Maybe it's a sponsor. I think to start the website to do what he wants to do, because he does creates a whole identity for a human. It's like $3,500. And that's something that I want to do. He showed me today when I called him up, I said, I'm going to need you soon, but I don't have the budget yet. But in my mind, I need you because I want to put all of our resources together. And he said, interesting. I just designed someone else's website with you in mind as I was designing it, saying, I can't wait till Eric is ready. Now he'll put hours and hours and hours into creating a new identity for me, but that's just that's where they start, is that budget. So I was like, interesting. That is going to be one thing. If we can get our resources together, maybe there's someone who knows how to collect that money so that we can start sooner rather than later, not just click on this link on Facebook and go here and do this, but $3,500, here you go, Erica, go get the guy. Let's start putting our resources together. Let's get the show in one place. And so if anyone has any ideas about where and how we can make that happen, that's amazing, because then we can start making a bigger impact, and selling the homes and offering the resources is huge for me, huge. Yeah, thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. And I know Tiffany's dropping a bunch of people's information in the chat. I want to leave us off. Were there any questions before I have Rebecca kind of wrap us up? And Tiffany, any questions, any comments, anything that's going on that in the chat that
just seeing the support of each other in here, and anyone who's in here, please drop your information in the chat so that any one of us can contact each other.
Yeah,
I love the beautiful hearts that are here tonight.
Yeah, drop your information. How can we connect? Who do you want to meet? And who do you think should be here? And then Rebecca came when I was feeling really bad. I was feeling really bad when Jasmine and I put our hearts and souls. It was 9 months of the show. And I was like, help me, give me a sign, please, that I'm on the right track, that I can do this, that I can keep the show going. And then I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, because Jasmine's one of my best friends of 20 years. And she just, we just needed to take a break of us doing this potentially together. And I think it blessed me to allow her to work on her business, which can help everyone around the world, me to work on mine, and then us to come together when our hearts align again. And maybe I'm not even saying the right words. And I'm so thankful that she's still here behind the scenes, but we're pivoting in a different direction to get the 1 million homes, 1 million lives. And then Rebecca, I'm gonna kick it over to you. What do you want to say? What do you want to add? And what's there for you right now?
Well, hi, everybody. Thank you, Erica, for inviting me to this forum. It's been a pleasure to hear everybody and their input. Just to kind of fill in the blanks a little bit for everybody else, Erica and I were introduced, oddly enough, by a former student of mine who I've reconnected with in recent years. She graduated in 1998, and she and I reconnected not too many months ago. And somehow she and Erica knew each other, and my former student thought Erica and I would be interested in chatting with each other. And we've had some great phone conversations and email correspondence. And I'm also a realtor. I've been in real estate for 15 years in Texas, in San Antonio, Texas. But prior to that, and sort of concurrent with that, there was some overlap in there. I was a music educator for 31 years. And while I didn't know too many people personally that were victims of domestic abuse and violence, I did see it in the children I taught, because I taught high school for 31 years. And the effects are greater than just to the true victim that's being involved. Children are affected, families are affected. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of helplessness that goes on there. The kids kind of shut down while the abused parent tries to figure out what to do and where to go and how to proceed with life and find a second chance. In the best of times, real estate is a scary thing for people. And when you're dealing with buyers and sellers, it's scary if you're selling, it's scary if you're buying. And I think that's even magnified by tenfold for victims of domestic abuse and violence, because they're dealing with a whole nother set of issues in addition to the normal sort of parameters that go with buying and selling homes. So I would like to see some of our shows in the future, you know, address just how a home purchase is not just a big dream for most people. It's a big fear that has to be faced and overcome with information and education. And it's a big risk. It's the largest financial investment anyone will ever make. Most people, you know, the average human, most of their money is sunk into a mortgage. So I think when you combine the normal things of real estate with the unusual and tragic effects of domestic violence, there's a real niche market there that has to be very carefully handled and carefully presented to people so that the fear factor is mitigated somewhat. I think with my background in education, there was a lot of natural transfer, and I'm sure Erica feels the same way too, because she was an educator as well. There's a huge amount of education that goes into the real estate business. The realtor is the sort of the conduit of information for most people. The realtor is the person that hooks up people with the lenders and the service providers and the plumbers and the electricians, the architects, the whatever. You know, it's usually an information source for people. And so I don't know why real estate professionals can't be an information source for resources to assist people with domestic violence issues as well. I think having a servant's heart is something we all have, or we wouldn't be here tonight. And gratitude certainly plays a part in that. I was raised in a Christian home and felt very blessed to be raised by Christian parents. And I consider my daily walk with my God to be vital to my success in life. I mean, it's just, I can't function without that. And if we can bring whatever spiritual source we have to our interactions with people in general, and particularly in our interactions in the business world, we're going to be acting more from a servant's heart, one that operates out of love, out of care, out of gratitude, and ultimately out of joy. And so I think this whole show is going to be a big umbrella sort of for those type of topics that we can use. I'm just looking through some of my notes here real quick. I want to make sure I got everything kind of talked about here. I think that's about it.
I think
yeah. Looking
you
forward
took notes is impressive.
I'm sorry, it's the teacher in me. I can't function without taking notes, you know.
Well, it's perfect, because quite honestly, that's part of what we're looking for. You don't know this, but we'll let you in on a little secret that Tiffany is writing behind the scenes. Now Tiffany is closing up shop by giving things over here. So I realized she can't be writing. So I was taking a little bit notes, and it takes a village. So as some people were talking, I was like half present because I'm doing this. So that's what we need is like someone who's going to be like, oh, that's just what I do to function, is to make sure people are cared for. Like that's in this movement. I mean, and I'm looking at, I actually have 2 clients. I also helped Ronnie move. And there was, when you're making a move anywhere in the world, and I think my internet connection is unstable, so we're just going to bring my dad in for a second. Hi, Daddy. We're fine. I went to bed like 6 hours ago. It's a solid 9 o'clock over here, so you're probably sleeping. I'm just kidding. He did go to sleep, and not 6 hours ago. But yeah, it's that movement really does involve lots of education and educating the buyers, the sellers, the renters, the investors. And you mentioned some really good things. I mean, and having that spiritual walk, and it doesn't matter who you're walking with, because if you don't have faith, you don't have anything. And I'm just so blessed, honestly, that we were all here tonight. And if you're seeing this live, you're in this room and you're going, Erica, what do I do next? Because it's one thing to like be here for an hour and 10 minutes. And I'm so grateful for your time. What else can we do? Well, you know, we have Brittany, who's coming on next week. She's going to talk about mortgages. She's going to tell a little bit about her story and about how, and we'll connect offline. I'll, you know, have her, you know, prepare something for us, and bring your people next week to hear her story and to hear how she can serve. And then also, who else do you know that could be speaking? Like, who else do you know that needs to make an impact? Rebecca, are you doing the following week? I think I need to do maybe the first Sunday in May, Erica. I think we're still going to be in Mexico, and I'm not sure about our Wi-Fi connection where we're going for the 24th. Got it. So maybe we can ask. Yeah. So then you know, we've got, what I could do is not doing it here, but we can, if you're interested and you're like, Erica, I think for the real estate world and to help sell a minimum of 1 million homes in your lifetime, and that's going to look like where you, each one of you might say, you know what, Erica, I got you. I'm going to, like, you raise your hand, maybe and you can text me, you can DM me, you can say it publicly now, or you can think about it later and be like, of that million, I'm going to help you with 50. And then that looks like you go in and you find in 50 people that have been impacted by domestic violence in your lifetime. And we start with a thermometer. And maybe there's someone on this call, or maybe you have a friend or a family member who's artsy, and they create a thermometer, and we start marking it off. And we're like 50. Oh, wait, we're going to get to 1 million. I still need to clean my house. So I'm definitely not making a thermometer. But there's so many little optics that go into doing this. And you might say, wow, I have a friend, a family member, a niece or something that can help with this. But yeah, we are going to be filling up time slots. And then that's for you to come and prepare. Like, come prepare whatever it is that you want to share in a 30 to 45 minute live session. And then you can have a chance to do a private Q&A with whoever's in the room. And we can send it out to everyone we know, you know, and we have a social media page. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, everyone, for whatever it is that you were able to do and contribute here tonight, by being here, by contributing, by adding value, by bringing your friends, bringing your family. I feel like, Jordan, did you and Madison have anything else you maybe wanted to say? And I'm not sure, it could not be, but I just want to check in.
Yeah, I just want to say this was awesome. I really appreciate this. And it kind of started the discussion with Madison was telling us just about her, not her specific instance, but stories she's heard from different people that I've never even heard the stories before. So it was, I think the most important thing is that if domestic violence doesn't occur to you specifically, then at least it brings it to the awareness level of, hey, now I'm thinking about this, now we're discussing it. And I think that's one of the most important things, because it's not brought up all the time. And like I was saying before, it's something that's really a huge issue. So amazing job. To have everyone stay on for an extra 30 minutes is no small feat. So I think you did awesome, and wanted to wish you a pre-happy birthday.
Thank you. We're going to bring Fiona back because, no, wake up, Lulu. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. We got a happy birthday. I think before they were talking to you, they prayed on you. You missed it. So, so thank you. And it is no small feat, and it takes just one conversation. You never know by, I'm looking for my love sign, by just having that, hey, by the way, you never know whose life you're going to touch. So I am someone just wrote me, I am so, so grateful, Ronnie. Oh, God. So I want to.
Okay, if you've got Fiona, here's my Charlie.
Oh, you want to? Oh, over there. No, don't look at it over there.
My man.
Is Fiona going wild?
I know we're so. No, Fiona doesn't know how to go wild. She goes wild for chicken. Everybody on this call knows about chicken.
Yes,
If she doesn't have her
This week
chicken,
she was
goes
like
wild.
wandering around the house trying to find chicken.
She jumped up on the counter, moved the knife, got the chicken down, and then ate it. So strange. So on that note, we're actually just going to not keep the knife on the counter anymore because the cat might not be here next week, or the chicken. So look at this love. Is this love? So I am so in love with this. Thank you for helping me create a home sweet home. Wishing a happy birthday and happy day one to our new show, the Celebrate Your Success, New Home, New You. We love you. I have a thing that says, oh, here it is. Sorry. We love you, and we will be back next Sunday with a whole new set of conversations around the same topic, but different, a different day, a different opportunity, a different way to make a difference. And I just want to send all of my love to you. Thank you for making this birthday that I'm coming into for tomorrow just one of the best days of my life, to be able to do this with each and every one of you. I honor you. I celebrate you. This is our success together. We are better together. So just thank you. And done deal, 1 million homes sold, 1 million lives saved, 1 million families saved, and starting with the birth of a brand new show. We love you. And until next time, guys, have a beautiful
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday.